The field moving at reduced speed around the speedway. Alright, here we go for 200 laps, the 12th annual Cracker 200 is underway. Green is out, we're racing. Once again, the track with a little bit of moisture on it. Everybody's going to have to be extra careful here in the early going. Bruce Lawrence grabs the early lead in the 16. He's got Steve Burgess in tow in the 12 car. Field makes it through the turns 1 and 2 in good fashion, and through 3 and 4, no problems as of yet. Leroy Porter fishtailing a little bit with a slick spot in the low side coming off before, but he's able to hang on to it. Bruce Lawrence and Steve Burgess pulling out front as the field begins to string out a little bit. Battle here now for the 5th spot. Dick Anderson trying to get around Roger Boone. The battle there, and Leroy Porter in there also challenging in the 61 car. Field now pretty well strung out around the speedway. We've got the leaders already moving into lap traffic. Some of the slower cars at the back of the pack. Here's a challenge now. Dick Anderson just cannot make that car work in the high groove. He brings it down and he gets it in the low side behind Casey Hawthorne. That'll drop him all the way back to the 9th spot. Up front it's the 16 machine. Bruce Lawrence. He continues to put some distance between himself and the 12 car, Steve Burgess. Good battle going on for 3rd now as David Russell and Jack Cook have hooked up here. Leader Lawrence back into more slower lap traffic. Going around now the Jim Trice car and Hal Perry the 85. 5 laps now completed. Lawrence your leader, Burgess in 2nd. Russell 3rd, Cook in 4th, Boone running 5th. Porter is in 6th spot, Hawthorne running 7th, and then in 8th spot, Dick Anderson, Underwood Knight, and Mike Goldberg currently rounding out the top 10. Bobby Lyons in the 65, the first car to make a pit stop here. Bruce Lawrence, your leader. That Sunbelt Auto Carrier Special out of DeLand. He was a walk-away winner of the first place, the top time trophy tonight. Turned in at 18. And we've got a problem. Dave Fletcher in the 3. Looks like he may have gotten into it with Joe Middleton over in 3 and 4. So we'll have our first caution period at lap number 8. Once again, caution laps do count. Caution laps do count up until lap number 190. Rob Underwood, Mike Goldberg, Edward Howell all behind him. Ed Meredith trying to get a bit of a jump on the restart. Here's the green is back out. We're racing. Yeah, Dick Anderson with a problem on the restart. The car just comes to a complete slowdown. He goes into turn 1. So Dick Anderson, the Governor's Cup champion, with some problems with the 4 car. He pulls it to a halt on the outside of turn 2. It'll bring out the caution. And Anderson bringing that caution out for himself there by pulling it to a stop on the outside of turn 2. And we should see him on pit road. Now Anderson continues around the speedway. May have a tire going down. Car was a little wiggly coming into turn 4, and Anderson immediately dropping off the pace and now going around the field as he's apparently headed back into the pits. We'll watch the Anderson crew. They're well down there toward turn 1. You have to look down toward turn 1. Here comes Anderson in the 4 car on to pit road. Anderson did not lose a lap. And let's see what side of the car they'll go to. They're going to go to the left side tires on the 4 car. So Dick Anderson, the Governor's Cup champion, is going to be sitting at the tail end of this field on the restart. He is going to have a long way to go. Pitting much too early to make a difference on the gasoline situation, even on the tires. clean back out. Lawrence getting a good jump here on the restart. Steve Burgess still second. Russell riding in that third spot. The field back underway. Field staying pretty strung out right now as Lawrence continues to pace the way. Remember, he's picking up a lot of lap money here from Dennis Boyd Racing Engines, from Randy Allen Roofing, from McCurry Tires. As the 16-car Bruce Lawrence continues through, a lot of lap money also being put up by JB's Fish Camp and Restaurant. And right now, Bruce Lawrence is eating all that up. But once again, the interesting thing is, 200 laps here, you cannot make it all the way. You have to come in the pits, and this race may well be won or lost in the pit area tonight. Dick Anderson on the track, doing his best to try to hang in here. A lot of close competition in some of this lap traffic. David Russell has closed in now on the 12th car of Burgess. We do have a battle for second here. Dick Anderson back in the rear of the field, still trying to work his way through. Bruce Lawrence is quickly closing in on him, and Anderson does not want to go a lap down. Bobby Lyons back on pit road again in the 65. And I believe he's going to call it a night as he takes the car behind the wall. Leader Bruce Lawrence continuing to move around slower cars. Steve Burgess second, David Russell third, and now Jack Cook beginning to close in again in the 96. Another car on pit road apparently out of the event, Darrell Cole in the 76. Lap 23 now completed, and Burgess beginning to close in a little bit now on Bruce Lawrence. Steve Burgess closing the gap on Lawrence now. Coming by has led the first eighth of this race. 25 down, only 175 more laps to go. Bruce Lawrence starting to move into some of the faster lap cars. Lawrence starting to close in on both Joe Middleton and Bill Posey. Putting a lap now on Posey as they're into turn 3. Burgess is second. Russell rides in the third spot. Jack Cook is fourth. Roger Boone continues to run fifth and is holding off the sixth running Leroy Porter. Casey Hawthorne is seventh. In the eighth spot currently is the 09 of Rob Underwood. Ninth spot, the 93 of Mike Goldberg, and currently running in 10th, it's the 74 of Wayne Anderson. And he's got his hands full with Edward Howell in the H96. Bruce Lawrence now putting a lap on both Jimmy Sills and the 37 car, Bruce Gaskins. As this race beginning to settle down a little bit. Lawrence moves out of turn 4, coming by to complete lap number 30. 30 laps now completed. Dick Anderson continues to make slow progress, but Bruce Lawrence is actually gaining a bit on him on the racetrack right now. Anderson does not want to get a lap down here before the pit stop scene will take place later on. Bruce Lawrence really starting to open up some distance now on Burgess. Lawrence with a good half straightaway. Lawrence has just put Johnny Cassidy and Greg Cecil a lap down. Two strong running cars, but nowhere near the match for Lawrence tonight. Still a long way to go in this one. And how things can change. We saw that happen in the Governor's Cup race. Bill Posey on pit road in the 51 car. Bill Posey pulls on pit road. And it looks like he is headed behind the wall. So Bill Posey, who's not had a real good day, is behind the wall in the 51. Bruce Lawrence, your leader now, trying to put a lap on Jim Crow in the 89. Crow at the same time was putting a lap on Matt Harubi in the 75. And Crow, not an easy guy to pass or to lap. Johnny Bass waving that move over flag at him as they came by that time. Good, clean race so far. It really has settled down here. Drivers would be hoping for a caution flag somewhere around the 100 lap mark at least for the needed fuel stop. And of course the tire situation, which will be critical about that time. Rundown at the completion of 38 laps. The leader, Bruce Lawrence, in the 16. Steve Burgess running second in the 12. David Russell still holding third in the 36. Jack Cook in fourth in the 96. Currently running fifth, it's the 44 of Roger Boone, and right behind him is sixth spot, the 61 of Leroy Porter. Casey Hawthorne runs seventh in the 62. Rob Underwood in the eighth spot on the 09. Mike Goldberg is ninth in the 93 and the 74 car. Wayne Anderson currently rounding out the top 10. Some of the leaders in heavy lap traffic on the back straightaway. Leroy Porter trying to find some room to get around Roger Boone here. Porter's car has not really been up to full song tonight, but still able to run in that sixth spot. But at the present time, Bruce Lawrence is just making a shambles of this thing. Lawrence is now within just a few car lengths of putting a lap on people like Ed Meredith, Ronnie Roach, and even Dick Anderson. Traffic now in front of your leader. Bruce Lawrence in the 16. And Burgess getting a chance to catch up a little bit here in the lap traffic. However, Lawrence clears it down the back straightaway. Checking out Bruce Gaskin's car, the number 37. That rear brake hub is just red hot right now. The 37 car coming by right now. The left rear brake on that car is just red hot. Lawrence, your leader, putting a lap on Gaskins down the back straightaway. And here's David Rogers on pit road. David Rogers in the TM Ranch car on pit road. His crew waiting for him. And they're going to go for right side tires. Right side tires. Rogers has already been lapped once by Lawrence and is just about to be lapped a second time. And it looks like the problem is more serious than just tires right now. They're looking at the left front of the car. Meanwhile, Lawrence having some problems getting a lap on Ed Meredith, and Steve Burgess has been able to run him down again. Meredith, who at the same time as lapping slower cars, has been holding Bruce Lawrence back a little bit, and Burgess is right on his rear bumper now. Steve Burgess with an opportunity to challenge for the lead. So the work continues pit side on the Rogers car. He's back out, but he's about 6 laps down now. Bruce Lawrence trying to move to the high side here. Here's Burgess, Steve Burgess to the inside. And we've got a lot of slow traffic here. Lawrence makes the right move. He's going to really snooker the 12 car out of that one. Burgess nowhere to go right now, and I mean he is getting drop kicked back quickly. Lawrence is closing in now on the 4 car, Dick Anderson, about to lap Dick Anderson in the 4. And Mike Goldberg in the 93. Goldberg has dropped back a little bit here. And I believe Goldberg is currently running in the 10th spot now. Anderson in the 11th, and Jeff Earnhardt, your 12th place car, in danger of being lapped by your leader, Bruce Lawrence. Burgess trying to use it to his advantage once again, but now he has gotten trapped behind the 25 car of Jimmy Sills. So once again, Bruce Lawrence trying to put a lap on a battle here for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Again, Burgess with an opportunity here now to close in on Lawrence, who's having his problems getting around this lap traffic. As we're past the 50 lap mark now, tire wear will start to get critical here very shortly. And we'll see who's really hit the setup and who really hasn't. Once again, Lawrence still unable to get around that 10th, 11th, 12th place battle as they're now into some slower lap traffic again. Burgess riding right on the back end of the 16 car now. David Russell still rides third in the 36. Jack Cook fourth in the 96. Only go well back to your 5th place car. The 44, Roger Boone, he's a half lap behind your leader. Meanwhile, a challenge for the lead. Steve Burgess in the 12, going to the outside. Burgess making the move. Takes over the top spot from Bruce Lawrence. So Steve Burgess in the number 12 becomes your second leader of the event on lap number 57. And Lawrence seems to be a bit off the pace now. He just cannot get around Jeff Earnhardt in the 2 car. Lawrence is slowing considerably on the speedway now. Whether he may have a tire going down, the engine still said he got a crash up in turns 3 and 4. Ronnie Roach getting into it with the lap car. Yes, Steve Burgess, your leader, sliding into the infield. And Burgess with a problem. It looks like he has busted something on that car. May have knocked the oil filter off of it.
How many laps you got
It looks like he has knocked the oil filter off the 12 car. So tough luck once again for Steve Burgess, who pulls off on the back straightaway, and he's left a trail of oil all the way around the racetrack. Burgess trying to move in to put a lap on Dick Anderson. Anderson slowed abruptly going into the corner. Burgess had to dive for the infield, and when he did, knocked the oil cooler right off that auto. All right, here they go. Field getting set once again. Lead with Bruce Lawrence in the 16. The green is out. We are racing. A lot of speedy dry on the track now. Make it hectic here for a while. Casey Hawthorne trying to find a way around Roger Boone in the 44. Got blocked out there. Bruce Lawrence still your leader. David Russell in second. Jack Cook rides in the third spot. Lawrence once again pulling out a little bit, this time on David Russell. His main challenger, Steve Burgess, has dropped out of the event. Burgess dropped out just after taking the lead while trying to avoid that accident over there. Knocked the oil cooler off his car. Top 5 cars pretty well strung out now. Lawrence, Russell, Jack Cook, Roger Boone, and Casey Hawthorne. And Leroy Porter and Rob Underwood trying to move back up through the field. They have made their pit stops and could possibly go the rest of the distance now, with the cars in front of them still needing to make a pit stop. Still the biggest problem out here right now. Bruce Lawrence taken high up in turn 1 the last time around by Jim Trice. And he continues to hold the top spot as Jack Cook now dogging the 36 car Russell. One car slowing on the back straightaway. The 27 of Ed Meredith looks like he is going to call it quits. Meredith in the 27. Slowing abruptly in turns 3 and 4. In fact, takes it down through the speed bumps to get out of the line of the faster traffic. And Meredith makes the hard left into the pit area. Once again, David Rogers still having trouble coming on the pit road. A challenge now for the second position. Jack Cook underneath the 36 car of Russell. So Jack Cook has taken over the second spot. And Cook appears to be hooking up good now on that 96 machine, as he will try now to chase down Bruce Lawrence. And he has already pulled away from David Russell. Continues to lead it. 77 laps now completed. Rogers once again on pit road. I think they are about to call it quits with this one. And Rogers will take the turn into the pit area. Lawrence leading at the completion of lap number 80. Jack Cook trying to close in. They have both pulled well in front now. David Russell in the 36. Boone still fourth with the pressure from Casey Hawthorne in the 62. Dick Anderson now sixth in the fourth. And with Jeff Earnhardt maybe running seventh in the 2 car. He's still running awfully strong, and I don't believe he's been lapped. That is unofficial though, but and a spin on the back straightaway going to bring out the caution. Ronnie Roach going around in the K92 car. Brings out a caution on lap 81. And we'll see more pit stops now. Let's see who's going to be coming in. Like Ronnie Roach in the K92. Middleton's car coming to a halt down there at the entrance to turn 1. Dick Anderson on pit road. Roger Boone. Casey Hawthorne apparently was one of the cars involved in that altercation there. Your 5th place car on pit road. They'll go for right side tires. Middleton back underway again in the 71. Fired again. And there he goes. So Roger Boone had been running 4th back on the track. Ronnie Roach on pit road in the K92. Dick Anderson on pit road. He's going to catch Casey Hawthorne in the pits. Dick Anderson just making it out. Casey Hawthorne about to go a lap down. It's Johnny Cassidy on pit road now. Jim Crow on pit road. Dick Anderson trying to get back out on the track, spun out. Casey Hawthorne, I don't believe, is going to make it back out in time. No, he goes a lap down to your leader. Now, Hawthorne may have been able to get out in front of Lawrence, but he did not get out in front of the pace car. Scary moment for Dick Anderson as he spun around coming out of the pits. Looked like he got into some of that speedy dry that was still left down there in the very low part of the groove. Here comes Boone and Hawthorne back in. Now once again, when the pace car passes Hawthorne, it will put him a lap down once more. But they've got a lot of front end damage to check on that car. Boone back on pit road there, working on the left rear of that car. He is back out and will rejoin at the tail end of the field. We'll be having our drawing for the 50-50 raffle shortly. $560 in the 50-50 raffle tonight. Cheerleader Jack Cook, who's been running extremely strong, runs in the 2nd spot. Then the 36 of David Russell. There's some controversy over the 2-car of Earnhardt as to what his position is. The 74 is still good in the lead lap, but Wayne Anderson, as the green is back out, we're racing. Lawrence setting sail in the 16 car again. Once again, that car runs extremely quickly right after the restarts. He's drawn away a little bit from Jack Cook. We'll be able to see how well that car will run if we get along. And Dick Anderson slowing on the back straightaway. Dick Anderson off the pace again in the 4 car. As Jim Crow comes back on pit road in the 89. Anderson slowing way down in the 4 car. His chances at the elusive win in the Cracker 200 are slipping away very quickly. And Jeff Earnhardt spinning right in front of a whole hard-charging pack here. Gets the car back underway. Now, Dick Anderson has remained on the lead lap, but whether he's got an engine problem or a tire going down or just what the problem is, he remains on the speedway. Earnhardt able to continue in the 2 car. Fortunately, nobody hit him over there. Brings out the caution at lap number 90. Earnhardt. He's got that car well out on the pit road. They're going to have to be very careful with that crew if anybody else comes in there. So, That's going to move Wayne Anderson up to third, Leroy Porter up to fourth. Now Porter has already made a pit stop, as has Rob Underwood and Mike Goldberg and Roger Boone. They may not choose to pit again. The cars in front of them, Bruce Lawrence, the 96 car Jack Cook, and the 74 of Wayne Anderson, all still have to make a pit stop. Here's Anderson coasting slowly down pit road and toward his pit area. They were having overheating troubles with that car this afternoon. Dick Anderson still on pit road. He's gone a lap down now. It looks like they're going to try to get him back out. I mean, back out on the speedway, but he's going to be more than a lap down. In fact, now the car won't fire. Green flag is out. We're back to racing once again. Bruce Lawrence, Jack Cook leading the way. Lawrence has led all but about 2 laps of this event. He was passed by Steve Burgess, and Burgess was caught up in an altercation in turn 3 and forced out of the event. Lawrence and Cook now pulling away, and here's Porter. Porter to the inside of the 74 of Wayne Anderson, and Leroy Porter, the defending champion of this race, is now up into third spot. Edward Howell running extremely well now. The H96, he is a lap down, but still running quite well. Rob Underwood is currently your 5th place car in the 09. Casey Hawthorne and Jim Crow getting together in turn 2. Hawthorne spins, and we're under caution once more. And we'll have the announcement of that very shortly. Somebody's going to go home $560 richer tonight. All right, winning number in our 50-50 raffle. If you have the winning number, come down there by the trophies and see Robert Hart. 0, 0, 4, 5, 9, 5. 0, 0, 4, 5, 9, 5. That's worth $560. Around down there, they don't even act like they're going to make a pit stop. I don't know whether anybody could go 200 laps here. Halfway signal is coming up. Halfway. 100 laps down. Now the $500 bonus will come up on the first completed green flag lap. Right now, lap 101 will not be it. We will get the race green flagged at the beginning of lap 101. And our congratulations to Bob Wellens. Bob Wellens of Orlando, the winner of our 50-50 raffle tonight. Bob Wellens with $560. And he's done everything but pick up the money so far. Bonus from Jack Griffin, Trucking and Logging. Bruce Lawrence now your leader with Leroy Porter in second. Rob Underwood is third. Mike Goldberg running in the 4th spot. Then the 44 of Roger Boone and the 36 of David Russell. Then the 74 of Wayne Anderson and the 96 of Jack Cook. They're the only cars on the lead lap Coming down for the green. Bruce Lawrence leading the way in the 16. Lawrence leading the way, and it looks as if he's going to pick up that $500 bonus. Out of turn 4. Bruce Lawrence picks up the $500 bonus from Jack Griffin Trucking and Logging. That would be a nice addition to some big winnings if he picks up this one. He's led most of the race so far. The $3,000 to win all the lap money, that extra $500 bonus in pocket. Could be a big night for Bruce Lawrence here, but he's still got half the race to go, and he has not made a pit stop. Leader on pit road. Finally making that pit stop after 108 laps. All cars in the field running up in the top 10 positions have now made a pit stop. At least one pit stop. Well, David Rogers coming out of the pits. He's a number of laps down, but figures if he can come out now, he can pick up some spots from some cars that have dropped out. And his boat sank. He said, that's got to change my racing luck. He's now in the second spot. Roger Boone riding third as we're going to go back under caution again. Mike Goldberg is your fourth place car in the 93. Russell, despite the spin down there, still running fifth in the 36. The 74 machine, it should be 74 for Wayne Anderson, running in the sixth spot. Jack Cook running seventh in the 96, and in the eighth spot, the last car in the lead lap, the number 16 of Bruce Lawrence. Lap 113 set to go back to green. Leroy Porter, your leader in the number 61. And the green is out. We are racing. Porter leading Rob Underwood, Roger Boone. The two-car Jeff Earnhardt is a lap or two down right now. Mike Goldberg in fourth. The 74 car, Wayne Anderson fifth, and Jack Cook with that fresh rubber out, trying to move up through the field. And of course, we'll be keeping our eyes peeled on Bruce Lawrence in the number 16 to see if he can make his way back up through the field, as well as David Russell, also trying to make his way up through the field too. Beginning to pull out a pretty good advantage right now with that 61 car. Underwood's car a little loose in the corners. The battle continues back here between the 74 of Wayne Anderson and the 96 of Jack Cook. Fifth really heating up. Wayne Anderson trying to keep that Simmons Construction Pontiac in front of the Bob Space Racers car. Yeah, boy, he has been slamming the door right in Jack Cook's face about one time every lap. Jim Crow slowing way down on the back straightaway, but nobody around him, so he'll be able to get into the pits without a problem. And Crow finally going to call it a night and head for the infield in the 89 car. Leroy Porter is still leading by a large margin now. Leroy, our third leader in this event. Bruce Lawrence has led most of it, but finally did make that pit stop a short while ago. Lawrence will not need to pit another time, I do believe. As we're closing in on lap 125, it'll be just 75 more to go here momentarily. Your fifth place battle is now moved in on the fourth place car, Mike Goldberg. Goldberg, Wayne Anderson, and the 96 of Jack Cook now right together. Meanwhile, David Russell and Bruce Lawrence have pulled away now from several of the other cars they needed to get around, so they are within some striking distance now of some of the top 5 spots. Here's Anderson to the inside of Goldberg down the back straightaway. Gutsy move there, just didn't have the speed to stay with Goldberg that time. Oh, something's going to give here pretty soon. I tell you what, pushing, coming, and shoving right here. Anderson has the 75 car holding real well. He moves to the inside. Will bring Jack Cook with him, so Wayne Anderson will move to 4th. Jack Cook to 5th, dropping Goldberg to the 6th spot. Rogers again slowing, pulling on the pit road. As Leroy Porter continues to lead it with Rob Underwood in the 2nd spot. By to complete lap number 129. 129 laps completed of our Cracker 200. Rob Underwood still solidly in the 2nd spot. With the 44 of Roger Boone 3rd, the 74 of Wayne Anderson 4th, and the 96 of Jack Cook in the 5th spot. Battle now for 6th between Goldberg, Russell, and Lawrence. Able to get around the 44 of Roger Boone. And Boone now being closed in upon by Wayne Anderson in the 74. A good battle continues here for that fifth spot. Excuse me, the sixth spot. Goldberg battling it out with Russell and Lawrence. Continues to lead this one easily. Jack Cook now trying to make a move on the 74 car of Wayne Anderson. Some good battles going on here. Here's Russell to the inside of Goldberg down the back straightaway. This is a challenge for sixth, and they tangle. Bruce Lawrence also involved. And leader Leroy Porter just coming off of turn 2. Let's see if any of these cars can get going. They're going to lose a lap if Porter goes around them. Lawrence can't get his car fired, neither can Russell. And they are all put a lap down by the leader. Goldberg was on the lead lap as well. 137 laps now completed. Stand, please. With one more lap around, we've got all kinds of confusion here. Here we go, looking for a green. Green is out, and we are racing it. Porter's got trouble. Leroy Porter having a problem coming off of turn 4. The cart darted to the outside. He's got a flat tire. Leroy Porter with a flat right front tire has handed the lead over to Rob Underwood. Under green, and Porter trying to make it around the track, hoping for a caution. He can't get onto pit road. Porter just trying to stay out there. The right front tire on the car is flat. Rob Underwood has taken the lead. Roger Boone is now second, and here's the challenge for third as Jack Cook moves underneath the 74 car of Wayne Anderson. Porter trying to get on pit road, trying to let the crew know that he's got a problem. And now Porter pulling to the inside of the racetrack. Rob Underwood leading the way now. Roger Boone in second. Jack Cook third. The 16 car of Bruce Lawrence and the 2 car of Earnhardt. And we've got a spin. Wayne Anderson down. He tangles with David Russell, and Russell slams the wall hard at turn 4. And that is going to bring out a red flag condition. Now we're going to go under caution. Just caution. David Russell. And the crew's coming out to check on Russell. He hit hard, driver's side first, into the wall. We need everyone back off the racetrack that doesn't belong out there. Field will come down under red. As soon as we get any word on the condition of David Russell, we will let you know. The paramedic crew, of course, is not allowed to leave the speedway proper. Whenever a driver is injured, we always have them taken out by the evac people. Yeah, and once again, it just talked with the evac people on the phone, and it appears like they will send a helicopter here if necessary. Was knocked unconscious by the impact, apparently, and
hello, happy weekend, and Bill Gable at your breakfast table.
that is the reason why they're being extremely careful,
With 100% good time oldies,
not moving him around or anything like that.
Also, your first chance to win a key that could start and win for you a very cool, very.
So once again, let's hope for the best in this particular situation. Very hard crash for Russell.
By Marriott, do it now. Also, we'll be giving away another cool escape vacation.
And the helicopter is now overhead and should be landing here shortly.
Vegas. Frank Lasco will be here with the information you need to start your week. The Traffic Twins will be airborne to help you along the way, and we'll be doing some fun and games with Mr. Lyrics, the morning Mr.
A flatbed wrecker. As you see, they completely cut the roof section off the car. And it looks like they also cut through a portion, yes, they did cut through a portion of the roll cage. But as you can see, you can take a look at the back end of that car, that rear end assembly literally shoved right up almost into the driver's seat. Green flag is back out and we are racing. Rob Underwood, your leader in the 09. The car to watch right now will be Bruce Lawrence. He's the fourth place car, a lap down. He's trying to get a lap back from Boone. He's going to be able to do it. Lawrence wanting to get back on that lead lap to have a chance to challenge for the lead. Bruce Lawrence now knocking on the back door of the 09 car, Rob Underwood. Johnny Cassidy very loose coming off turn 4. Remember, these cars have been sitting down here for a good 45 minutes. And here's Lawrence. He's going to get that lap back. Bruce Lawrence, no. Rob Underwood able to get him snookered behind a lap car. The 6 car. And now the battle going on for second as Jack Cook is reeled in, the 44 Boone. This is going to be a barn burner to the end. Rob Underwood just trying to hold off Bruce Lawrence and keep him a lap down. Underwood could move over and just make it easy for himself, but probably does not realize that Lawrence is a lap down. Jack Cook has gotten around the 44 car for second. A caution on the speedway. Caution on the speedway. And we'll try to find out what the caution is for. Lawrence down in that inside groove now. We'll go back under caution as they're jockeying around for positions here. The green flag is back out and we are racing. Oh, problems over at turn 4. Watch out. Several cars involved. We'll go back under caution again. Matt Harubi rear-ending the 11 car. David Rogers in that melee over there. As Edward Howell spun around. And I gotta go one more time around. One more time around. All right, here we go. Bruce Lawrence still trying to get that lap back as we go back to green. Rob Underwood, your leader. We got a little bit of moisture coming down again. Trying to hold off Lawrence, but not able to do so. Bruce Lawrence has gotten his lap back and now needs a caution flag to stand a chance here. And here's a challenge for the lead. Jack Cook gets it. Jack Cook has taken the lead of the 96 car. Jack Cook holding the top spot in that Bob Space Racer Special. Underwood in second, Roger Boone in third, and the caution coming out as the rain begins to fall a little harder now. Caution coming out.